lights, cameras, action. Now let's engage in the dialogue. Let me browse through your mind like a catalog. Conscious metaphysics, allow me to break down the specifics. Educate, motivate. If you don't feel free, you can liberate. An LLC is what I'm building, the #1 podcast in the building. So let me slide on up in the Bentley truck in my Versace shirts. They can't get enough of this deep conversation, expansion, elevation. I'll send you a link you can tap in. It ain't quite what I used to do back then. Now I get it on the front and the back end. Multiple money streams keep coming in. Enlightened, empower, evolve. Enlightened, empower, evolve.
Just in time. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I know everyone's doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again, and you know why. I'm gonna let you tell me why. Yes, that's right. Because I have an amazing guest today, another amazing guest who resides in Brooklyn, New York. She has a traditional education in holistic healthcare, plant medicine, and spirituality. She works close with the community, providing birth and postpartum doula service. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Doula services.
Doula
Yes.
services. Thank you very much, Queen.
You're welcome.
Reiki healing, meditation classes, free books to fight the stigma of dyslexia and financial literacy hardship. Her passion as a spiritual advisor is to guide others to awaken their greatness, is what continues the legacy of growth. Wow, that's amazing. How are you doing today, Dr. Luna, darling?
Doing amazing. And again, thank you so much for having me on your platform this evening. I am very honored and blessed to be here. So thank you very much. Gracious gratitude unto you.
Absolutely. And I got to reciprocate that gratitude to you because I believe that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend some of your time in the history of your life here with me, I just extend that my sincerest gratitude. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it, doctor. So you have a traditional education in holistic healthcare, plant medicine, and spirituality. Give us a little insight on that. How did you even think about getting into all this medicinal, holistic health, plant medicine? What started this?
Okay, so I've always had a medical background.
Okay.
I come from being a medical assistant first, and
Right.
With educating myself with the medical apartheid that our people have sacrificed for so many years,
Right.
I decided to wanted to go into holistic care. It's a huge jump from the medical industry only because we work more from a heart space, right?
Right.
We connect more with our clients. We allow our clients to speak for themselves instead of as in medical when they tell the client what they're supposed to. What's wrong with you? Your family history? What could
Right.
possibly be wrong? It's kind of a fear-based thing that they do. And with holistic care, we more so just work with the love and the energy, not only of the universe, but the energy that comes from our heart space as well, because you have to be very empathetic in order to work with people that have certain illnesses, right? Whether if it may be medical, psychological, spiritual, anything of that sort. I basically started because my family, I come from a long lineage of midwives, and
Wow.
so seeing my ancestors and my aunts and my uncles into medical care kind of gave me the beautiful outlook of how to serve people in our community, where they can honestly get more benefits from what we're giving them, because we're working with them on a daily basis. It's not like we work with somebody and we send them on their way with medication.
Right.
We're there on a daily basis with working with someone. So I would like to say that's how I got into my holistic care, basically self-education. And then I
Right.
went into
Very important.
right. And then I went to exercising the options that we have out there. There's a lot of holistic schools. There's a lot of holistic doctors. One of my favorites is Dr. Sebi.
You know what? Excuse me for interrupting you, Queen, but that's exactly, as soon as you said one of my favorites, in my head, I said, I guarantee you she's gonna say Dr. Sebi. Go ahead.
Yes, he's opened the door that's so wide. You know,
right.
You never
right.
would think that having a all fruit diet or
right.
vegetable diet or doing a month of a water fast can literally reset the whole body. You understand?
Right.
Also him explaining to people the power of meditation, the power of the mind, how powerful our mind is. Our mind is over matter any given day. And I believe that his legacy that he left for us is extremely important. And if more people would sit down and they would do the self-study or they would do the self-education, they would realize that we can make better choices in our life with just the food that we intake on a daily basis. Even the water, not all water is healthy for us to drink.
Alkaline water.
Reiki healer. Yeah, as a Reiki healer, they taught us how to use the Reiki symbols on our water, how to use Reiki symbols on our food to purify our water, to purify our food, even before we actually cook. Here's another thing that I tell people also. Before we season our food, show gratitude, show appreciation, because you never know exactly what this animal has experienced, even if you're not a carnivore and you're more so just vegan. It's the energy alone. Fruits, vegetables, again, they come from trees, they come from the ground. We have to bless these things and speak life over them before we take them inside of our bodies. So I think that Dr. Sebi was the one who kind of shined the light on those things. Absolutely. And definitely has helped me on my journey. So definitely bless the ancestor for all the knowledge and stuff that he has left us with.
Wow, amazing. And thank you for sharing that,
of course.
Luna. You know, what really stood out to me is especially in regard to our people, Black people, people of African descent, this needs to be spoken to everybody, but definitely in our community, because traditionally, you know, it hasn't been as such much focus on health. Even when we mention things like, and I'm not trying to discredit anything or anyone or any tradition, but even historically talking about soul food, it's not really soul food what we're talking about. It's usually slave food, or, you know, or food that isn't very healthy for us. And we need to start looking at that. That's why, and not to put too much energy into it, but that's why you notice, you know, a lot of times, you know, well, you notice it more in our celebrities, you know, dying young at age 50s and 40s and stuff like that. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with, you know, what we've consumed and things like that, just having these heart attacks and these strokes and things like that. So for you to bring this to awareness is very important, you know, especially within our community. And I just want to commend you on that.
Well, thank you. I'm going to tell you a joke my grandfather used to say when my grandmother would cook chitlins in the house.
Yeah,
he would say, this is survival food.
Right.
You know, and as a child, I didn't really understand what he meant by that. As an adult now, I don't know if you've watched High Off the Hog. I think it's on Showtime or HBO.
The documentary about pork.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, it's a documentary about soul food as
soul
a whole.
Food. Yeah. I didn't watch it all, but I did start watching it. I did. Yeah.
So with watching that, it hit me, and my grandfather told me this maybe 20 odd years ago, right?
Right.
And it hit me how he meant with survival food. They had to eat that food in order for them to survive. They had to eat those fats to gain the energy that they needed to be in the fields all day. However, taste and seasoning now came into play, and so that is why Black people feel like it's something ingestible for them to eat.
Right.
But however, if we go back and look at what chitlins are, it's the intestines of one of the most horrific animals that is on the planet, right?
Disgusting animals. Yes, right.
Exactly. And so it's like, there's so many things that can be substituted for the meats and things that we use. But again, it's a matter of habit. It's a matter
Right.
of
Right.
what we're used to and
Used
what
to.
we don't want to let go of. Right. So
Indoctrinated. We've been, yes, like you said.
exactly.
And sorry if I interrupt. I just want to just add a little bit to what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
and interject. But yes, we've been indoctrinated for one. That's what we used to. We put labels on it like tradition and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And and when it gets labels like that, not just food, but just anything that isn't healthy for you, we tend to accept it because it has that label of tradition on there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what I am thankful for is that now uh, amazing people such as yourself are starting to wake other not only themselves up, but wake other people up, to get people to start looking and say, hey, look, we've been eating this and it's been killing us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, yes, that's very important. um
Yeah. I
Awareness is
tell
key.
I tell people all the time, no matter how educated someone is, no matter what someone tells you, you do your own research because your truth may not be my truth. You may find something out that Luna might not even touch bases on. And,
Exactly.
we can come back and talk about it and build on it. But it's
Right.
definitely just about having a bigger outlook on life and
Right.
appreciating and having gratitude for life, so
Right.
you can live it more in a more brightened environment, in a more healthier environment, in a more loving
Thrive.
environment. Certain
Right.
foods that we eat, and we realize this with children, they become irritable, they
Right.
become, certain
Right.
things with kids. Don't give it to them. They might upset their stomach. They might have an allergic reaction. We have to be just as cautious as we are with our children moving things into our bodies.
Right. And that's amazing. And I just wanted to go back over this for those of you that's out there listening and or watching. Look into Dr. Sebi. You mentioned, Luna mentioned Dr. Sebi earlier. If you don't know anything about him, just look up some of his research and some of his information, and you'll see about the fruits and how you can reset and eradicate your body of certain
Mm-hmm.
ailments, blood pressure, uh, stomach ailments, irritable bowel syndrome with simply going on all fruit and vegetable diets. It's just so much information, and I'm glad you're
Right.
you're you're an advocate for that work and getting it out there as well in your own way. That's amazing. So I also wanted to ask you, so Reiki healing, how did you get into that? And what does that Reiki healing and I don't want to throw it together. Tell me if I shouldn't be throwing it together, but Reiki healing and meditation, uh, how did you get into that?
Well, they kind of go hand in hand, so you're right
Okay.
about that.
Right, right,
So
right.
okay, so funny story. When I was maybe about 6 years old, I had a cousin who had a bird, a little baby bird, and the
Okay.
bird died.
Right.
And I came in the house, in my grandma's house. I came in the house. I placed the bird in my hand, held the bird for a couple minutes. The bird started flapping. The bird started moving.
Okay.
Right. Um, my mom always told me my hands, I always had healing hands since I was a kid. My mom always told me this.
Wow.
As I got older and I got into spirituality, again with the holistic care, what other care could we give somebody that is suffering any type of illness besides medication? And so
Mm,
I got into learning all these different qigong, Reiki healing, sound healing, again, meditation, as I was saying to you before, meditation with your mind is the most powerfulest thing, most
right.
powerfulest tool that we have in our arsenal, right? And I tell everybody
Absolutely.
this all the time. um
Absolutely.
Taking the time to quiet everything around you, to be able to go within yourself, to find the things that you have to discover is beautiful. Not everybody has um the mental span to sit 30, 40 minutes for meditation. I tell
Right, right,
everybody 5 minutes of sitting in silence is fine.
right,
You could be in a room full of people. If you're able to close down your eyes and go within yourself, that's fine too.
right,
I
right,
do this more in the workplace also, because though I am holistic here, right, and though I am a birth doula, I still have to work within the hospital setting. Is sometimes the hospital setting could be a very fast paced environment. I have to go within my mind sometimes
right,
to quiet
right.
myself.
No, I resonate
And
with that because I
so,
do the same thing.
okay,
Sorry about
good.
that. Go ahead.
Yes. So I would like to say to you, about 5 years ago, I was pregnant with my second child, having a couple of complications. I had a good friend of mine who used to give me Reiki healing with my back. I had a lot of lower back pain. And I
Wow.
always wondered, how was she able to remove this pain without using anything but her hands? I
Hands.
would feel the heat coming from her hands. I would feel vibration coming from her
Her
hands.
hands.
I would
Wow.
hear sound vibration as she was healing me at the same time. And
Right.
she explained to me, Luna, this is Reiki. And I asked her, well, what is Reiki? Reiki basically is the energy from the universe, right? You're
Mm,
calling down the energy of the universe to use you as a vessel to pull down this healing energy to imprint into somebody else who may needs it.
right.
Reiki healing energy goes where it's needed. So you can say to me, oh, Luna, I had a migraine for 3 days, right?
Right. Right.
But
Right. Right.
however, the migraine could be stemming from something from your root chakra. It could be stemming from something from a knee. It could be stemming. But again, the Reiki healing energy is going to find exactly where it needs to be healed, and it's going to go where it needs to be healed. So
Wow.
honestly, I'm just a vessel being used by the universe to provide the healing that's needed. Okay.
Right.
I
Right.
always tell people, the energy doesn't come from me. Luna's not walking around with a whole bunch of magical, healing energy. It's coming from the universe whenever I need it to come down to heal somebody.
Wow. That's amazing. And I would kind of beg to differ a little bit. You are walking around with that energy because even though it's coming from the universe, it's still coming through you. So
Right.
you have it at your disposal.
Disposal. Yes.
Yes, yes, and I truly resonate with that because we're all part of the universe. So, and even if you get down to like, a religious aspect, we're created
Hmm.
in God's image. That's, to me, that interprets to me that we're all created. The universe is always creating things, and
Yes.
we are too, and we have
Hmm.
power. We have the same power. So, and when you mention that to some people, they get a little bit skittish sometimes, but no, you have to be
Of
something,
course.
have to know that, because that's, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna piggyback off of what you said. The reason that people feel a little uneasy, I'm gonna say, is because they don't have the knowledge, right?
Right, right.
Anybody that doesn't have the knowledge about anything, of course, they're gonna feel a little like,
Yeah,
no
it's
thank you kind
unfamiliar,
of thing.
unfamiliar
Yeah,
to them. Right.
exactly.
And it might
I
and it
tell
might be,
everybody,
oh, go ahead.
educate yourself. It's
Right,
very important for you to educate yourself. It's very important for you to also believe in yourself. It's very
absolutely,
crucial that you do so, right?
absolutely.
Because we know the power that we hold as gods and goddesses. Yes, we do create.
Right,
That is what we do, right?
right,
Um,
right,
Also, we're able to alchemize things, right? We're able to transmute certain energies and things of that nature. And so I tell everybody, do your own research, but also tap into yourself, tap into your own power, tap into your
like
own
that.
gifts, tap into your own knowledge. You understand? You
Right.
don't know your strength and your power until you recognize it yourself. Can't nobody point that out to you.
Well, I couldn't have put it any better than that. And
Hmm.
what you said too, in regard to educating yourself, to me, now this is just my perspective, self-education and looking up things, especially in regard to empowering yourself, is even more important than the traditional public, education, the system that they've set up for you.
Absolutely.
Yes, because to me, and I'm not speaking it, I don't want to say I'm against at the same time, because any education, anytime you can further the knowledge that you have, I think it's a good thing. But at the
Right.
same time, oftentimes traditional avenues from A to B can suppress, instead of cultivate what we really are, what we need to know about ourselves. Put it that way.
Hmm.
It doesn't cultivate that. We learn how to memorize things. We learn about other people and things like that. We learn how to put the square into the square hole and with the round ball and all that. But educating yourself, you learn more about yourself, the power that you have. I believe that, and I know it. because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been doing, and that's what I continue to do. And
Absolutely.
and just even engaging in conversations and being open to learn different things, and whether it sits right with your spirit and with
Mm-hmm.
your internal compass, instead of you got to get out, you got to not mistake your internal compass for what you've been indoctrinated with. That's where you got to get out of your own way. And
Right.
it took me time to do that, because things that I started to hear through my journey that didn't line up with what I had been told, what I've been taught, what I've been trained, I
Right.
automatically took offense to it. And
Mm-hmm.
oh, no, 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 no. But then when I learned to relax and listen to God within me, learn to listen to,
Yes.
then I realized, wow, I started to uh, move towards the information and attract and manifest the information, the people, the
Yeah.
circumstances that are essential for my growth and awareness, and
Mm-hmm.
moving up my level of consciousness now. So now when you're speaking in terms of everything you're talking about, it doesn't sound like foreign uh, stuff to me anymore. It sounds like, okay, yep, yep,
Right.
you
So
know,
let me say this to you too. So as you said, like, we indoctrines, right? So it's
right,
like we were taught to go A B C D E F G, right?
right,
Nobody said it's okay if you don't want to go to C. You can go to E, and then once you go to E, you can turn back around and then you can come back to C. Nobody said that to us, right? And so
right,
we view those things as a mistake. Oh, did I do something wrong? Did
wrong,
I
right,
did you understand what I'm saying? And it's like,
absolutely,
no, if we were just taught that it's okay for you to make a mistake and it's okay for you to backtrack your steps, it's okay for you to go off your path for just a little bit and work your way back over to the right path again. It's
absolutely,
okay. Um,
absolutely,
also, it's right now on the planet, the love frequency is extremely low, right?
right,
And and I tell people this all the time. Positive energy will get you to where you need to go. A lot of people never felt what positive energy is. A lot of people live from a negative mind space, right? And so with me as a Reiki healer and even as a birth doula, my job is to enlighten somebody so they can see their own light.
right. See, and I like the way that you said that, enlighten someone so they can see their own light, because I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm not teaching you really anything, just showing you your own
Mm-hmm.
power, and how to tap into your own amazing abilities, and making you aware of what we were aware of in centuries past that was
Right.
covered up for whatever reasons. Other people, in my perspective, not to get without getting too deep into it, other people had different um, motives to
Okay.
hide this knowledge, to take it away, to disempower people so that they can control and do what they want to do. But
Right. Right.
that's why, even within discoveries, people are discovering this advanced technology that's even advanced more than what we have now, and wondering how did they calculate this and that, and the pyramids, and strategically placed along with the
Mm-hmm.
astrology and stars, because we had these abilities, and we
Absolutely.
always had them, right,
It's a lot of the times, and again, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm pretty sure you're aware of like past lives and things of that nature.
right, right,
We've all been here 1,000 times before. This is not our first lifetime here. And so a lot of the knowledge that we received in those past lives is just lying dormant in us. That's another reason
absolutely,
why meditation is so important, because meditation could be able to open those doors for you to gain that knowledge back, for you to gain
portal,
those
yes,
downloads that you need. You understand? A lot of the
absolutely,
time, my ancestors, they didn't read books. They went out into nature. They raised their
right,
hand up in the air. It's gonna rain today. You
right,
know, they just felt that. It was certain things that would happen around the house that grandma, auntie, or grandpa or uncle, somebody would say, "Hey, I just seen XYZ, this is going to happen today. It's an intuition
Absolutely.
thing. It's an inner knowing
Absolutely.
thing. It's an inner power thing. And when you literally tap into that inner work that you have to do to gain that knowledge to become the higher version of yourself, you
Right.
become unstoppable. There's nothing that nobody or anything can do to deter you from your goals, from your dreams, from your purpose, from anything that you have in your mindset that you want to accomplish. You'll be able to do so. You know, also releasing old emotions, releasing old trauma, releasing old hurt, releasing old memories, releasing old habits. Those
Right.
things, when you're able to drop those things down, then your hands is open for you to be able to carry and to accept whatever the universe or whatever spirit is trying to give you at that time. A lot of us
Exactly.
block our blessings because we still holding on to everything. It's like,
Right. No, it's true.
yeah,
It's true.
release.
No,
Yeah, let
you
go. And
speaking.
again, I say that especially now because we're at the ending of the year. Well, the Gregorian year. Let me say that. And we're supposed to be welcoming in new things. But
Right.
if we're at a fearful based, egotistical place in our life, it's very hard for us to release certain things because it's comfort, as you said earlier.
Right.
It's comforting. It's familiar. It's something that we're used to, so we don't feel like, oh well, what may happen, we already know what is going to happen. So we have to start opening up ourselves and being open to whatever it is that the universe wants to bring in. Remember, and they say this in church, you know, God ain't gonna give you nothing more than you can bear, right? Neither
Absolutely.
is the universe. The universe is never gonna give you more than you can bear. Okay, your spirit team, your ancestors are never gonna give you more than you can bear. It may
Right.
be a test. You know,
Right. Right.
we all get tested on a daily basis, but however,
It's to
it's
help.
for your
It's
growth.
the intentions for, that's exactly what I was going to say, for your growth. And once you have that, embrace that way of being, that mindset, if you want to call it that, of
Mhm.
knowing that everything is for your highest good, then life seems to flow a lot better. It does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you won't go through any adversities, but you'll be better
Oh
prepared
yeah.
to
Hmm.
to uh to grow through it. Right.
There's a saying in the spiritual community where we say nothing happens to you, it happens for you.
For you. Right. Exactly. And you said something also that I wanted to highlight a bit, and I want to make sure that I articulate this correctly. But
Okay.
you mentioned something about books. I love reading books. I believe, no, no, listen, watch, listen to the end of this. I love reading books. I think books are important. But if you really
Mhm.
think about it and get down to the bare essence, books are simply just somebody else's perspectives, right? There's
There
somebody
you
else.
go.
So
Hmm.
really, that knowledge, you have all that knowledge. And and I'm not saying it from a place, oh, I know everything. No, books can help. To me, books can help cultivate and bring out things and tell you some things that you didn't know. But everything we need, that we truly need, it's just that we're so distracted with so many
Hmm.
different things, then those books might be a way to really help us. But when we can find ways to not be distracted, like you said, with
Hmm.
meditation, we find that knowledge, that any knowledge that we need, the universe will download it, will give it to us.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I love that you just said that
Right.
because here's the thing with books, right? As you said, books are written by people. Everybody has their
Right.
own perspective in
Perspective.
this life, right?
Right.
And so whatever this person is writing, it doesn't mean that is law what you're reading, right? It
Right.
just means that it's another person's perspective that you can view, right? But
Right.
you yourself still have your own perspective. So
Right.
again, it's just being open to knowledge, right?
Right.
Itself. But however, as you said, the knowledge is already within us. It's
Right.
literally just us stopping the distractions, quieting down our mind. And
Minds.
again, 5-10 minutes is fine. You'll be surprised. You here will be 10 minutes, but you'll be in meditation for hours and hours and hours. You know, and the downloads and the information that you receive is like, wait a minute, my alarm was only for 10 minutes, this meditation, and I received all this information. I always tell people write it down because
Right. That's
sometimes,
important. Important.
yeah, sometimes in the midst of us receiving these downloads, receiving all these things, we get so excited by the information that yes, it's stored, but we may mentally kind of forget what was said to us during that meditation.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's important to write it. It's important for you to have a meditation journal. It's also important for you to have a dream journal, because sometimes we do dream and we can't remember our dreams either.
That's
But
another
if
thing I
we,
was gonna say too.
okay, okay,
Sometimes
so let
I'll
me,
wake up
okay, let me not go too
after a
fast.
dream, wake up and write down something, or get an
Yeah, yeah,
answer to
yeah.
something and write it down, because then you might forget.
You may forget it.
Yep.
Absolutely. So yeah, I suggest sleep with a pad next to you. If you're doing meditation, you know, sit with the pad next to you. So, you know, jot it down. Sometimes you don't, it's a thing called automatic writing, right? I'm sure you're knowledgeable of this. And so it's like we just allow our hand to do the controlling. Our mind is receiving the information, but our hand is what's taking down the notes.
Recording it. Right.
Majority of the time, your handwriting will not be very neat, but you'll be able to translate exactly what you
Right.
had wrote down.
You'll know what it says.
Yeah, you'll know what it says. Most definitely.
No, I totally resonate with that, because I write music, right? And I write what I like to call self-empowerment hip hop music now. And
beautiful.
When I'm zoning out, oftentimes I'll get finished writing a verse or something, and then I'll snap out of it and be like, and then I have to reread it like I'm a third person, like,
yes,
like I got
that's
that.
a channeled. That's what
Yep.
they call a channel message that then
Right.
came to you.
Exactly.
You know, that came
And
from the ethers.
I couldn't make that up. I mean, you get a chance, check out some of my music. Just look up Luke Bryan Smith on any of the streaming platforms and look up some of the music that I do now. I used to, prior to this, and I know this segment isn't about me, but just while we're here, like I said,
no, let's chat. Let's chat. Yeah.
It'll be a conversation. I used to create, more mainstream gangster rap music because I thought that was cool years ago. I'm 52. I'm 52 now. So, of course I'm creating something more, knowledgeable. High vibrational now. Yeah. And
yes.
not saying that everybody does that, gets to that point, but I'm just thankful that I'm elevated to the point where now I want to put something out there. Like, I love creating music. I want to put something out there that's more, conducive to peace and happiness and balance and growth and knowledge. Just, and less, no violent and things of that nature. Now, I had to go through that stage, so I'm not criticizing anybody that is, but I'm hope that we do start gearing, especially music in our culture, to be more conducive to like building and growing instead of destroying, and looking at each other as enemies, and cultivating that, because there's already enough odds against us in this world. And I just have to say that for us to look at each other, another man that looks like me, and just want to just kill and destroy just because you're from here or I'm from here, or you have on this and I have on that, or I want to rob and kill you or whatever. I think a lot of the music cultivates that in our community, and it's praised, and and a lot of it, I don't want to get too deep in it where we don't have the control over. We do have control over it, but we're selling it for a price. We're selling our peace of mind and our for a price. We're selling our peace in our community for a price, for a few people to get rich. We're destroying our community with these words that we are putting out there. And I'm, like I said, I'm not condemning, because I was part of the problem at one point. And now I'm thankful that I'm part of the solution now. So yeah, you just look up Luke Bryan Smith on Spotify, any of those places. Luke, Bryon Smith. Bryan Smith. You'll see Pandora, Apple Play, all that. You'll see it. Yep.
Okay, I'm excited and interested in hearing it.
Right.
And this goes to the sound healing as well too. Music has been a high vibrational frequency before we were here.
Right, absolutely.
Our ancestors, they communicated through music, they communicated through vibration, they communicated through sound waves, right? I was very excited to hear Andre 3000's album when it came out, because
yes,
because I play the singing bowls, and just hearing it to me put me in such a zenful place. right? And I tell people all the time, music carries a frequency. It carries an energy. If you listen to gangster rap music, you're going to want to go out and do something gangsterish. If you listen to classical music, you may want to sit and educate yourself. If you listen, you understand what I'm saying? Different music brings different energy towards you. And we have to be mindful as a people what we putting out into the universe. Because now these kids, everything is that 808 beat drum thingy. And it's like, it has them at a zombie kind of, you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like they're just walking blindly now. It's no message in the music. I remember growing up, we had Public Enemy #1. We had
De La Soul, Queen Latifah.
De La Soul, Queen Latifah, MC
messages.
We,
KRS-One.
you know, KRS-One. We grew up with the greats. We grew up with hearing the gangster rap, but at the same time, hearing a message within that music. You understand what I'm saying? Now there's no message in the music. All the message in the music is hurt this, hurt that, degrade this one, degrade that one, go out and do this.
Substance abuse, a lot of that. That's what I'm saying.
It's really sad.
It is sad.
It's really, really sad. Me personally, I'm a Beethoven fan. I'm also a Miles Davis fan, right?
You know, I have to say that, and we're down to about 2 more minutes. But yes, I was going to elaborate on that. I listen to Beethoven and Vivaldi, and when I'm reading, and I've had friends come over and say, "Man, what are you doing?" I said, "Try it, man. Try it. It just puts you in a certain space." But yes, before we conclude this segment, how can people find you audibly? I'll have your links and incorporate them into the description, but you have a website that you can
I'm still working on my website right now, but you guys can reach out to me at Luna Darling on Facebook. On my business page is the Luna Darling Experience. I do meditations. You can find me on Google Podcasts, the Luna Darling Experience. I do have a Instagram page, but I don't really use it that much. But it's Dr. L. Rike Darling 25. And email address if anybody may have a question. Anybody may want to contact me about anything. Dr. L. Darling 25@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. And yeah, that's about it. I want you guys to always look out on Amazon. I do have 3 books coming out at the ending of this month. 2 are children books. One is a spiritualist guidebook, which is to introduce you to spirituality, how to do certain things, how to look for certain information, how to educate yourself, things of that nature. So yeah, look out for those beautiful things that I have coming.
Yes, thank you very much, Luna. And everyone, thank you for watching. Check out the website, 333empower.com. If you're interested in being on the show, 333empower@gmail.com. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. See you soon.
Okay. Gracious gratitude.
Share this video, like it, subscribe, spread it out there. Questions, put them on there. See you soon.